What is happening, everybody? Welcome to episode 3 of Manny's Food Channel. And today I thought I would go back to roots. I decided to make a dish that my parents used to make for me as a kid. It's a Persian dish. It's called Koofteh Tabrizi or Tabrizi Meatballs, I guess is a loose translation. This is a braised dish that takes about 45 minutes to cook, and it is very delicious. So let's get to it. So to start off with this meatballs, here I have a pound of beef. In this little ramekin I have about a teaspoon of salt, a quarter teaspoon of pepper, a quarter teaspoon of nutmeg, and a quarter teaspoon of cinnamon. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw that in there. Next I'm gonna crack 2 eggs. The eggs are gonna make the meatballs very light and fluffy. Next, I'm gonna grate 1 medium-sized onion. And then finally, I'm gonna add the rice flour. And then I'm going to mix all these ingredients very thoroughly to make sure all the ingredients are very well incorporated. And it produces a very light, fluffy meatball. So now that my ingredients are very well incorporated, here I have about 2 tablespoons of golden raisins, and I also have around 2 tablespoons of roughly chopped walnuts. The great thing about this recipe is you can really fill it with anything. Some people fill it with eggs, some people fill it with apricots, but for myself, I like a little bit of raisins and a little bit of walnuts, so I'm going to stuff it with a touch of raisins, a couple walnuts, and then close this guy up and roll it into a meatball. And stuff it with any toppings you'd like, and then just set them aside until you're ready to cook them. So now that our meatballs are ready, we can put that away, and we can start preparing what we need for the braising liquid. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to quickly slice 1 whole onion. Doesn't matter how thick or thin you want to go with it. The thicker it is, the more texture there will be. The thinner you go, the less texture will be. So either way works. Next, we're going to heat up around 2 tablespoons of butter. Once the butter is all melted, then we can throw in those sliced onions, and we're going to cook them until they start to become translucent on the verge of turning golden brown. So that will take around probably 8 to 10 minutes. And don't forget to stir it every once in a while to make sure it doesn't burn at the bottom. So now that my onions are starting to turn translucent on the verge of golden brown, I'm going to toss in about a quarter of a teaspoon of turmeric, as well as 2 tablespoons of tomato paste, and just let that cook off for a couple minutes, just so we get everything infused and toast the tomato paste a little bit. Now that I've let the turmeric and the tomato paste toast for a couple minutes, I'm now going to add my meatballs, and I'm going to place them on top of the onions so they don't touch the bottom of the pan. And finally, I'm gonna add around 500 mils of beef stock. This beef stock here, I added with a little bit of beef powder as well, to give it more of a beefy flavor. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna cover it up and let it cook for around half an hour or 45 minutes, or until the beef is cooked. And I'm gonna turn it once around the halfway mark to make sure that all sides are cooked evenly. Alright, so we're at that stage now, halfway stage where we can flip the meatballs. So let's have a look. Ooh, it smells so good. The aromas that are coming through here are amazing. So I'm just gonna quickly give it a flip and let it cook on the other side for another 15 minutes or so. Let it reduce slow, don't overboil it. You wanna keep some of that stock in, that's where all the flavor is. That bit of soup and onions at the bottom, tomato paste, turmeric. In the end, it's gonna produce a very amazing flavor, very bold flavor as well. So now that everything is flipped, I'm gonna cover it back up and let it cook for another 15 to 20 minutes, and then it should be ready. Alright, so let's have a quick look. It's all ready. Mamma mia. Looks so good. It smells absolutely amazing. Alright, so now to plate. I'm gonna put a little bit of the onions at the bottom. Spread them around there. Give it a bit of a base. Next up, I'm gonna add some basmati rice that I made. I'll put that in a different video in the next couple weeks here. So we'll put some basmati rice. A little more foundation on there. Next, I'm gonna put something that we use a lot in Iran. It's called sereshk, or barberries. These are very small, very similar to raisins or sour cherries, but these are very tart, very sour, and it helps to cut down the richness. And I'll put a video up on that in the next couple of weeks along with the rice and show you how to make barberry rice. Now for la pièce de la résistance, one meatball, two meatballs, and three. Now we'll add a bit of the stock, a bit of soup around it. Keep the rice moist. And finally, a bit of parsley just to garnish, and voila! The Persian Tabrizi meatball. Alright, so let's slice through and see what we have in the middle. This meatball is unbelievably tender. And voila. The raisins, the walnuts, turmeric, seasoning, tomato paste, basmati rice. A plate full of deliciousness. Alright, so here it is. I'm about to have a quick bite and see how it is. By the way, you should know I'm never biased towards my food. Cheers. This is so good. The meatball is very moist. The flavors are running through my palate from the base of the tomatoes all the way up to the meatballs. Absolutely delicious. Have a go at it. Let me know what you think. And hope you enjoy. Hi everyone, thanks for watching my video. If you enjoyed the video, please comment, like, or subscribe to my video. And leave me a feedback as to how I can make my videos better and or what kind of recipes you would like to see. And hopefully I'll be able to execute on them and produce them for you. Till next time.